Hello, everyone. It's me, Tanya. So I was just sitting up here thinking, you know me, real talk, um, like I always do. Me and my mind, I was sitting there thinking, like, how does somebody really know if they're an old soul or not? Because, you hear people say all the time, like, that person has an old soul or they've been here before. And honestly, I don't know if that's a African American thing, a black thing, or do other races say that too? Like, this person been here before, they have an old soul. But like nobody never told me I had an old soul, but I felt like I had an old soul. It's funny because a lot of times I think, and I don't know if it's with everyone, I feel like I had an old soul because I felt like in my direct family, I had to be the mature one, the one that stayed out of trouble, to be good because everybody else was kind of being troublemakers. So I had to be the one to kind of balance it out. Or when I say, oh, I tried to be the, now don't get me wrong, I wasn't perfect because I was sneaky. But I did pretty good in school. I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get in trouble when I was in school. Besides, I was a little boy crazy, which I think a lot of girls get. But I didn't get any trouble. Like, I wasn't cursing and fighting and stuff like that when I was in school. So I consider myself the good child, I guess. And my other siblings in my household weren't like that. They didn't make good grades. They got in trouble in school. Um, they were in uh, certain special classes, and I wasn't. Um, so I don't know. I just felt like I had to be a little bit more mature, and maybe I just was a little bit more mature. And so I always kind of felt like an old soul, like I was a little bit older than what I was. And the reason why I actually kind of thought about it because I got a niece, which is my niece's niece, who I have custody of. Um, she's like that. She's actually 10. And I remember the first time, I'm not going to say the first time I noticed she was different. And when I say different is, I have a family that I've talked about before who has a lot of toxicity. And it's very toxic. And, I have to go, when this family was living in a certain place, I would go over there all the time. And she probably was like 2 or 3 at this time. And I would visit them, take them food, go take them, give them a ride. My mom lived there at that time, and I would go over there, and it always was a tense, stress time. Because every time I would go over there was somebody was always begging for money, food, a ride. It was always somebody's going to jail, somebody been fighting. The refrigerator don't work. We don't have money for the lights. We don't. Or can I? I mean, to the point they were like grown people ask me for 50 cents. Like it was every time I would go that way. It was always better to be that way. And I used to always, I wasn't that close with. I didn't get a chance to get close with my niece's daughter because I used to kind of not spend time or whatever with them. But every time my niece would come out, and she would always bring the baby out with her, and I'm like, hey, her name, hey, baby, her name's Tanaya. Hey, and she was the cutest little thing, and she'd be dirty, hair sticking up on her head, ain't got no shoes, no clothes, no. But she was the cutest little thing. You can just tell she had the sweetest little energy. But it's so funny because when everybody, and I remember one time my niece would bring her out the door and take me to the car, and she come over there. And when everybody else be coming to the car asking me for something or want something, expecting, why didn't you bring that? I need this. She would come over there, and I remember one time what really stood out to me is she had these little plastic toy fruit. And she came over there and she said, Auntie, she was a little baby, and she was bringing them to me to give them to me as a gift. She like wanted to give me those little fruit, like somebody was bringing me something. And I don't know why, but for some reason that just stuck out to me. I remember coming home telling my husband, there's something about this little girl. I was like, I just feel her energy, like she's something different. Like you can tell, like at all, she was gonna be different. And I'm like, she come on there every time she see me. She come on there, she give me a hug. She come on there, she see me, she always wanted to like try to give me stuff. Like I got you a gift, I got you a little friend. Like she was real small, but you know, you can just tell, her energy was so different. And I'm like, I could tell this child gonna be different. Even though I was worried about it because she was growing up in the same atmosphere that her mom grew up in, and then her mom lost custody of her, and it's whole story of that. So I'm just like, oh, man, I hate to see that happen, but I knew I had no control over that. Because just like with Tanaya's mom, when they were children, me and my husband tried to get custody of them. They're twins. She was actually a twin. She has a twin brother. So twins definitely run in my family, like every generation, sometimes twice in one generation. So I was just like, I know I ain't gonna be able to get her. You know, I could tell that her mom loved her. She just sometimes she don't know how to be a mama or a mother because she never had example of that. So, anyways, and what's crazy was, life went on, and I still see her when I go over there, and whatever. I never kept her. I only would see her when they get in the car and I would take them places and stuff like that. And I would have never thought we would have had custody of her. Never in a million years. It's so funny because I remember the date. It was me and my husband's anniversary, I think. But I know we was about to go out of town. We was going to New Orleans for like a week. And I remember getting a phone call from DCF saying that they had my niece there. They were at the house, I think. Police had them left there. The house was disgusting. DCF had done called her. I think my mom it was a whole bunch of stuff, but DCF had to go to the house because it was disgusting. After DCF left, they had to go. The police got called because my nephew pulled a knife out on my niece, and she had the baby in her hand, and blah blah, all kind of stuff going on. And they took them both out the house, and they're like, okay, we got your niece here with the baby, and my niece said she can come stay with you. Is that okay? Her and the baby? And I'm like, well, first of all, we about to go out of town. Like we was flying out that next morning. I'm like, we about to go out of town for a week, so they can't come stay with us. We're not gonna be there. And I couldn't leave my niece home because she's not a person that you can trust. Especially at that point, that you can trust her in your house alone. And so I was just like, she was like, I was like, we're not gonna be there. And I'm like, and so they can't. We got to leave the next day. And the lady's like, okay, well, we can put them in a motel, but when y'all coming back, and we told them, like, when y'all come back, is it okay if they come stay with y'all until they find someone to stay? And I was being honest, I'm like, I love my niece, but she can't come stay. The baby can come stay, but she can't. And they agreed. She was like, okay, the baby can come stay, and her name, we'll call her Kiri. Kiri said she'll go stay with someone else. She'll find somewhere to stay, or she went back to the house. I don't even remember. But I remember we left and we came back and we went and picked her up from the motel. And we've had her ever since. And that was 5 years ago. We had her ever since she was 5. And I would have never thought that would ever happen. To get that child was crazy because I knew it was something different about her. But her nickname is Old Lady. She is such an old soul. She is an old lady to her heart. I mean, she's 10 now, and she's 15, and not in a fast way, or she's not grown. She's just mature. You know what I'm saying? So she's just mature. She act like an old lady. It's just like her bedtime is 9, and on the weekends we be like, tonight she can stay up to 10, 11. She can't do it. Sometimes she be in the bed before that. She like, Auntie, my bedtime is 10. I can stay up to 10, 11. She don't make it. She be in the bed tonight, and she's been getting herself up for school by herself. Probably since she was 7, 6. We don't even have to get up. It used to be when she would get up and get dressed, and every morning before she go to school. This was a couple years ago. She would come in and she would let me see her what she wore to school. I made sure she was good. She had everything she need, and then she would go and we go back to sleep. She is such an old lady. I told God gave me and my husband a perfect child because, for one, we became parents, guardians, if you want to say that, in our 40s, right? It was just me and him for so many years. We became parents in our 40s. It was me and him for so long, and we were so used to doing things our way. We weren't used to a lot of noise. We were used to a lot of stuff. I'm so spoiled with my attention, his attention, that where it was like, ugh. And having somebody around all the time. But she has been the perfect child for us. She is really a good child. I mean, I ain't gonna say she's perfect because she's a child, but she's good. She's a good girl. And she has this old soul about her. And I can tell, she's a lot like me. And now that I see her, I can see that she has a lot of things like her mom. And I wish I would have recognized before that her mom is a little sensitive soul too. Like, I can tell now why she handles things the way she do. It's because that's how she cope. You know, it maybe bring me back to, like, sometimes people have mental illnesses and they don't know how to cope with it, and they use drugs to do it. Like, we already know this, but like, people just like, oh, you crazy, or you lazy, or you don't want to do nothing, or. But a lot of times people feel so sensitive to things, they don't even recognize what they're feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even recognize that these feelings you feeling might not be yours. Or, you having all this anxiety because you feeling what everybody else feeling. And then it's funny how people don't even realize that. Like, and I can see that with her mom, because her mom, I can tell the more now, especially since I have her daughter, that that's her. She's a sensitive soul, and she just never had a chance to realize it or show it. And then before she even could, she became an alcoholic, and now she can't go without it. Like, she's a bad alcoholic, and she's in her 20s, to where she knew enough. Like I said, she's a good enough mom to know she couldn't take care of her child. That's why I have so much respect for her. I have so much respect for her, because she knew that her daughter would be in good hands with me, unlike her mother. When we tried to do that with her kids, she never could let her kids go. She could never let them go. I don't care if she was homeless, she didn't have no food, she didn't have no light, she didn't have nowhere to stay. They wouldn't graduate school, they weren't going. She couldn't let them go, because she couldn't let go. A lot of it because she couldn't let go of what they brought to what they helped her do. When I say is support, let's be government. She needed them to survive herself. But that's why I have so much respect for my niece, because she'll go out there and hustle before she do that. And I remember it's funny because her mama gave her a hard time about what kind of mama you is for letting your kid go stay with your aunt, giving up your kid. A good one, a one who know. And what's crazy is this is your grandchild. You couldn't even get her. The government, the state wouldn't even give you her because you don't have nowhere to stay. But she made her daughter feel bad about it. And I don't know if she still do that or not, but she did. But I can tell her daughter, her mom is the same way. She's a sensitive soul. She just don't know how. She just don't understand it. She just don't understand it. But she reminds me a lot of myself sometimes, that I see her now. She really is a good mom, though. She loves her. She just don't know how to be a woman or a mother. But yeah, tonight is definitely old, so I just love to see her grow. She has her issues, but she's like any other child. She's growing up. She's young. Her room is a mess. I mean, a mess. I can definitely tell she lived with them the first 5 years of her life. That's something we having a hard time breaking with her. But she listens. She's very mannerable. She believes in rules. She believes in following the rules. Right now she's on this thing about saying she want to be a safety patrol. She came to me and told me about it, and they sent me the thing, and I told my husband, and my husband like, no. He do not like that. He like, no, she ain't gonna be no safety patrol. And I'm like, what's wrong? Cause she gonna be like no, she gonna be like the law. She don't need to do that. She don't do that. Let her be the law. Ain't nothing wrong with her want to be a good person. It's so funny. I tell my husband, it's so funny. People always downplay or make people feel bad about making good decisions or doing right. Like, what's wrong? What's wrong with doing right or being a good person? Let her be there. If she want to be a good person and be a patrol and tell people what to do and tell people what they shouldn't be doing and follow the rules, I'm so happy. I am so happy. That's why I say, and it's funny because I was a safety patrol in school too. She remind me. My husband say that's you right there. She ain't my child, but she my child. She really is. And I guess, like I said, I knew from the jump that she was different. I knew there was something about her. And I see it today. She really is. She just has a really, really good soul. I mean, come on, she is 10 years old, and my mom, which is a great grandma, is her best friend. They're best friends. They like 2 peas in a pod. Like, she sleep in the room with my mom. Like, she has her own room with her own TV. Sleep in the room with my mom. They spend time together. She tell her stuff she ain't gonna tell me. She's an old lady. And don't get me wrong, she is the youngest person in my immediate family. Everybody else is adults. But she get to hang around kids because I have kids her age next door. Family members, actually. Cousins. Third, second, whatever. So she hang around kids. But she just old. She just old. She had to take days off of playing. She like, I don't feel like playing today. I'm not. Tell them she off today. Like, who take days off from playing as a kid? And she just started doing that because she older. She been doing that, taking off days for playing. She's such an old lady. I love her. I really do. But that's all I want to say. Like, how do you know? I mean, hers probably the same because she had to deal with her mom issues as a child, losing her mom because that was a rough thing when she first moved to us. It was rough on her. I mean, and then even with her dad's home, she never get to spend time with him. Well, matter of fact, she don't. She probably can't tell you how he look because he's a crack. He's on. Let's say he's a crackhead. He's on crack, and he lives 5 or 6 hours away from her, and she never get to see him. But she can tell me when she first was born and when she was small, and she was with her mom and her dad was still here, I guess. That she remember them living in the woods together, sleeping in the woods in a tent. And just think, we was 5, and that probably happened a year or so before we got her. But she can tell you she remember that. She can remember sleeping in a tent in the woods with her mom and her dad because they were homeless and living on the streets and whatever. But yeah, I can tell. Like, I don't know if she knows it, and she knows it. She knows she an old lady. She's funny because I used to call her old lady because she just little stuff she used to do. I start calling like, "Oh, you such an old lady." And I tell her all the time. And now it's funny because I called somebody else that other day. I think it was my niece the other day. I like, "All right, old lady." And my niece, she ain't like that. I'm an old lady. She embraced that name. She knows she's an old lady. She really is. But yeah, that's all I want to say. Like, how do you know when you're an old soul? It's something people tell you, or you just feel it. With me, I feel it. I felt it. And now that I'm older, and I attract nothing but younger people. It's funny because all my friends are in their 20s, late 20s, but all my friends that's close to me that lives near me, I'll say that, all in their 20s. My best friend, late 20s. My other friend, best friend, we'll say, late 20s. And then, I'll be honest, my girl, late 20s. Yeah, I'm in an age, a bit definite age gap relationship. Late 20s, but they all are so mature. They're all different, but they old souls too. They like old ladies. The old ladies. Yep. They old souls too. And I guess it's though I tell them all the time I get older, but I feel like I'm getting younger. So I might be in my 40s, but I feel like I'm in my 30s. So they're in their 20s and they're in their 30s. Like we meet in the middle. And I think God sometimes make people to where you can camouflage or adapt or relate to any age because you can no matter who it is. And it's funny because most people my age, I don't know. I just can't. I don't know. I can't. I don't. And I don't know if it's an age thing. It's just most people don't think the way I do. And maybe if they do, they don't talk about it. But I just don't. No. I have one friend who's like 50, and she lives in Orlando, and I like her. We here. We just like we just alike. She has a good heart. And me and her could talk about anything. She's the same. But most people my age, most of my family members, the siblings that's my age, I feel like I don't have nothing in common to talk to. I don't know. I just don't. And I guess it's funny because even with my friends, it's the same way. It's just one friend I can tell anything to, and with my other friend we go out and have fun and stuff like together. When I want to go out and be a little goofy and hang out, we go have drinks. We go have dinner, and then my girl is just my girl. So but it's just I don't know. It's just something about people my age. I have a hard time. I don't know meeting people my age that I I don't know. I mean, I already have a hard time meeting people my age that think the way I do. So Maybe I feel fine. Maybe it's because a lot of times younger people more acceptable of things than what older people are. Like for me to be saying I have a husband and a girl, younger people more acceptable than that than older people. Older people like, what is that? What they don't understand that. So sometimes older people don't accept the fact that you might be struggling with work or anxiety or a lot of especially toughen up and move on. Some people don't understand that, and it's a couple people my age who I've talked to like that. That's just what they think. They don't understand that. I don't know. Yep. So yeah, that's all I gotta say today. Which I know I don't want all off the subject, but yeah. Thanks.